Somebody had asked me, is the way that you case your mail and deliver it different than a CCA versus an RCA? And the answer to that question is yes. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be redoing the video that is titled The Difference Between an RCA, an ARC, and a CCA. It has been brought to my attention that my previous video sound was kind of very low, so I decided to remake it with a better quality sound and to add in some of the questions that many of you were asking on that video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in. Okay, so let's dive straight into the pay rates. Many of you are wanting to know exactly how much you would make an hour as each job position. So for a CCA, the starting pay rate hourly is $19.33 an hour. As an RCA, the starting pay rate is $19.94 an hour. And for an ARC, the actual hourly pay rate is $17.02 an hour. Now, this is going to get a little deep because I want to discuss exactly how you are paid for each job title. Because each job title, the way that you are paid is differently. As a CCA, you are paid hourly. As a CCA, you are paid by evaluation, based off of the speed of the route. And as an ARC, it is the same as a CCA. You are paid hourly. I'm going to double check on that here in a few to make sure that I am correct as far as an ARC goes, but I'm pretty sure it's hourly just like a CCA, considering that you are only a seasonal position. So let's go ahead and get deeper into the details of each of these job titles. As an RCA, you are paid based on the evaluation of the route. If you have never heard of this pay scale, then I'm going to kind of like break it down for you a little bit. So each route in the office is evaluated based off of the time that the carrier gets done every day. They go out and they basically, after I believe every 6 months to a year, they go out there and they follow the carrier. And after they are done following that carrier, they come up with a specific time to get done with that route. So as an RCA, when you go out and you deliver that route for them on their day off, you are basically supposed to finish that route based off of that evaluation time. So if you go out there and you're under that evaluation time, you still get paid for that evaluation time. For example, say the route is an 8-hour route and you go out there and you deliver it under 8 hours. You still get paid for the 8 hours of that route. So basically you're getting paid 30 minutes, however more under that you work. Like say you get done at 7, then basically an hour of that time you are basically getting paid for free. However, if you're going out there and you're slacking, or if the volume is a little higher that day, then you are working for free. So it's so important to be mindful of that. I do believe after a certain amount of hours, when you go over in overtime, for example, for the week, if you go past 40 hours, then all of that time does make up for itself. But if not, if you're not going to go over in overtime that week, then it is important for you to get that route done in the evaluation time. Now that that is squared away, the pay rate, all that good stuff, I'm going to go ahead and go into detail for the RCA position. Since that was my very first job at the Postal Service in RCA, let's go into details with this job, because when I first applied, I was super excited because I was like, oh, I get to wear the uniform, you know. I thought that the RCA position was the mail carrier position. And then I found out later on, after I got the position and started working, that you actually wear your regular clothes as an RCA. You are not allowed to wear a uniform, actually. You could buy like t-shirts, like United States Postal Service t-shirts, like with like memes on it, but you cannot wear the actual uniform. It's actually against the policy. You'll get in trouble for that. So just a heads up, if you're applying for the Postal Service, the RCA position is a rural carrier associate. You are going to be out in the rural, I can't even say that word, hopefully I said it right, community, out in the country. You will not be supplied a mail truck. However, let me go back a little bit. You are expected to provide your own vehicle if they do not have a mail truck to provide you. So going into the position, you are expected to have your own vehicle, but you do not have to have your own vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and give you the free game for 99 cents, y'all, because nobody told me this as an RCA, brand new coming in. But these are things that I wish I would have known when I did get the RCA position. As an RCA position, you are on call. That means that they can call you at 7 o'clock in the morning if they need you to work, to fill in. You basically the help. So if a regular carrier, even if it's not the route that you are assigned to work on every Sunday or their day off, calls in and they need some help, they will call you at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning to come in to work. They expect you to answer your phone, to be on call. This is the thing though, and I want you to understand this because this is something I did not know. If you have scheduled a doctor's appointment and it is something extremely important, after 90 days, please know that you do not have to answer your phone. Like, if you have something extremely important that you need to do that day, don't make it your number one priority to put your job before your health or before your child's doctor's appointments, or you know what I'm saying, if you have something scheduled. Don't make it a habit to not answer your phone when they are calling, but if you have something scheduled, do not put yourself last. If they have you driving to other locations as an RCA, even to your orientations, always document the miles that you drive to and from those destinations. Write them down on a piece of paper so that you can be compensated. I can't even say that word. Oh God, y'all, help me out. You will be paid for each mile that you drive. I believe I can't remember how many cents it is, but they pay you for each mile that you drive to and from. So document that, especially to and from your orientation. Even as a CCA, document it. You get paid for that as well. Document it. Okay. All right. Back on track. Let's finish talking about the RCA position. This one's more lengthy than the other ones because it's got a lot of hoops and things about it that's a little different. CCA is more straight to the point, but RCAs is a little complicated. The pay, the hourly rate, all of it, even the vehicle situation. Let's get to the vehicle situation, okay? If you are wanting to go to a small town office that does not have mail trucks and you need your own vehicle, or if your postmaster tells you you need to have your own vehicle, here is what the RCAs did in my office, in other offices, and things that I have researched myself over the years. So as an RCA, you are expected to have your own vehicle. The best thing that I would suggest you do is to follow the Facebook group RCA, or Rural Carrier Associate Facebook group, so that you can actually find out where you can purchase these vehicles already ready to go, or where you can go to take your vehicle to be switched out. Because what happens is, this is what it's called. It's called a kit. I can't remember what type of kit it's called, but I remember them calling it a kit. And a lot of the RCAs have Jeeps because the Jeeps are like the closest thing to an LLV. And they take it and they have it switched out from the left to the right. So they have to switch the pedals out. They got to switch the seat out. And they even put like a tray on the left side of the vehicle so that you can put your mail up front with you, so you can actually deliver from the front of the vehicle. and they transfer it all to the right side. I don't know exactly how much that stuff costs, but over on the Rural Carrier Facebook group, they break it all down for you. They can help you with any questions you have. It was extremely helpful for me, and that's kind of why I'm like referring you over there, because that is going to probably relieve a lot of your questions and anxiety about what's next if your office requires you to have your own vehicle. Somebody had asked me, is the way that you case your mail and deliver it different than a CCA versus an RCA? And the answer to that question is yes. As an RCA and a CCA, as an RCA, you are delivering straight from your mail truck. The only time you are getting out is to deliver a package. That is it. Very simple. However, in the wintertime, y'all got it worse than us, because if you don't know anything about the rural community, then I would highly suggest you go look it up, because those driveways are long, those country roads are long, and they are the last things to get plowed during a snowstorm if you live in a cold climate. If not, then you're fine. You're actually good to go. Actually, I would prefer to be a rural carrier somewhere where it doesn't snow. But if you are somewhere where it snows, then you will be getting stuck a lot, because you are the last to get plowed during a winter storm. But other than that, as a rural carrier, you are delivering straight from the window, and the only time you're getting out is to deliver a package. That is it. As a CCA is a little different. We're going to get to the CCA position here in a second, because I'm about done with an RCA position now. I might have like one more thing left to go if I can think of it. We'll see. So I saw a question that asked, if you finish your route under the evaluated time, do you have to go and help others who are slacking or who aren't done with their route yet, or do you get to go home? The answer to that question, I said that twice already in one of my other videos. The answer to that question is yes, you do. You have to go and help everybody that has not got done yet. Basically, as an RCA, you don't get to go home until everybody is done, or at least close to being done. So say, Tia on Route 12 still has 2 hours of DPS and flats left. Then they might send you out to take an hour of it so that she gets done at a decent time, because they want every carrier done and back in the office at a decent time. So most of the time as an RCA, you're going to help another RCA. The regular carriers are getting done with their routes and going home. I mean, they know their evaluated time. They getting it done. As an RCA, you got RCAs that's just out there playing, or they just don't really care that they're going to be working for free, which is crazy. But if you find yourself being one of those people who have to go help, just look at it as overtime, because after you finish your route that's evaluated, you do fill out a card, I believe. So you do not work for free. You actually get paid. So you'll fill out, like, I believe, a green card, and then under that green card, you will, I keep forgetting that the system has changed. It might be different in the scanner now, because I remember we used to have to fill out green cards. You might still have to fill out a card if you are working. No, you'll move to a different route on the scanner. You'll move on the scanner to a different route, and basically it restarts. So you finish your route under the evaluated on Route 12, they make you move over to Route 9. Then that whatever time that you put in, that's how much you get paid. You get hourly for that. When you go help somebody, that's hourly. When you are on a route for the day, that's evaluated. So you finish that under 7 hours, you get paid the 8 hours, if that's how much the 8 hour route the route is. Then when you go and help somebody, you move over to that route, and then whatever you work or help on that route is hourly, because you're not running that route. That is actually split up. So you are getting, paid for the actual time that you work to help somebody, if that makes sense. So I guess this is the perfect time to explain why I decided to switch from an RCA to a CCA. The reason why I switched from that position to the CCA position was because of the pay. At the time, I wasn't willing to wait another year to become regular and to have a guaranteed schedule. being on call and not really knowing exactly when I'm going to make enough money or how much money I'm going to make that week bothered me. You know, some weeks you'll have a good week, and then some weeks you really wouldn't, and you would have to call around to see if maybe you could help. That bothered me. Not having a uniform bothered me. But I do miss being a rural carrier because it was very relaxing and it was a lot less stressful than a CCA. Okay, if you're looking for a job that's going to be just kind of like, relaxing, it's going to be a little stressful in the wintertime, I'm not going to lie, but for the most part it's manageable. And if you're in college or you do want a part-time position, then the RCA position is for you. However, at that time I was moving out and I needed some job security, and I needed to move over to a CCA so that I could have guaranteed money. And that's why I did it, to be honest. Now that the RCA position is covered, which is pretty much the whole video, because once I get into the CCA and the ARC position, it's going to be pretty quick. The CCA position, let's talk about it. As a CCA, you are hourly, 6 days a week. You are walking, and you might have mounted routes. As a CCA, you are pretty much doing everything that an RCA is doing, but more. You're gonna make more than them an hour. You're gonna get paid more, but you're gonna be doing more than them. You are already gonna have your own mail truck provided to you, so that's not something you got to worry about. The only thing you really got to worry about is your uniforms, because you have to wait, I believe, almost a year to get your uniforms. I can't make this up. So making sure that you have that kind of stuff prior to getting the position, those are little minor things that you have to worry about. The way that we deliver mail is a little bit of everything. You might have a mounted route, which is straight from the mail truck one day, and the next day you may be walking. It's really straight to the punch as a CCA. Since you are a CCA, you will be working in the city areas. So you will not be in the country, you'll actually be in the city. And if you don't know what the term mounted means, it means that the whole route is delivered from the mail truck, just like an RCA, and you only get out to deliver the packages. Or you might have businesses are called dismount. That means you get out, you take it to the inside of the building, and then you get back in your truck and you drive off to the next business. That is called dismount. Mounted is when you deliver it straight into the mailbox from the window, and then on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And then you got your relays, which is where you stop at a parking point, lock up your truck, start from that point, and then make your way back to your truck on the other side of the road. Those are called relays. Those is what makes us a CCA. The relays is what makes us a CCA, because we are doing walking at least 75 to 80%, as a CCA. You're going to be walking more than you are doing mounted, trust me, because a lot of people are going to get the mounted. They're going to be higher up in seniority than you on the list, so that is really, based off seniority. But that's pretty much what a CCA does as far as our work title. Okay, CCA, so I'm going to go ahead and give you some free game for 99 cents. I gave it to the RCA, so I'm coming for the CCA as well. Duh. Okay. One of the things that I highly recommend, and even your instructor might even say the same thing now, don't become a runner. If you don't know what a runner is a CCA who first starts a position, and they go out of their way to impress the supervisor by going as fast as you possibly can. This is setting yourself up for failure in the future, because our bodies can only do that for so long before we hit a wall. And what happens is our supervisors are expecting us to maintain that same speed. So when you cannot maintain that speed, they are thinking you are slacking and that you are basically out there playing around, basically. And so it is important for you to go the speed that is best for your body, not best for making the supervisor happy. Go when you first start, aim to get faster, but aim to go at a pace that your body can actually manage, not to impress the supervisor, okay? Yes, you are expected to help the other CCAs because you don't get to go home until everybody gets to go home. So that's also something that you got to be mindful of, because you going out there and you going fast and you think you getting ready to go home. No, you're not. You're going to go help somebody else. So keep that in mind too. Don't go fast because you're going to get rewarded for more work. Go the pace that is best for your body. Go the pace that it is expected to get it done. Don't go don't go under that. Don't overachieve it, because you're going to get rewarded for more work. So why do that to yourself? Why work harder and then get rewarded for more work when you can actually go based off of what the route is and have some muscles at the end of the day that's not in pain and go home? Yeah, you might get sent back out, you might, but at least you didn't get done 2 hours early and then go and help 2 hours on another route. At least you get done at a decent time, and then if you do get sent back out, then you know what I'm saying, we're good. You know what I'm saying, you're good. Just take care of yourself. You first, okay? You first. And that's all I gotta say for the CCA position. I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the ARC position. Okay, ARCs, let's go ahead and get into it. This is really, really simple. You are basically a seasonal worker. You are hired in during, I believe, 3 months out of the year. I don't believe that you work any more than seasonal. I've actually seen carriers get sent home after the holiday season was done with and told that they will not be called until next year. Okay, so just be mindful of that. You are to work basically during the holiday seasons when the volume is extremely high and we need extra carriers, extra hands. I believe you are LLV trained like the regular carriers are, and you may be actually asked to provide your own vehicle. No, you do not get a uniform. You are paid $17.02 an hour. It is a great job for college students. It's a great part-time gig. It's a great job. You're gonna make some good money in those 3 months. It's gonna be well worth it. It's gonna basically be like you working for the postal service but for 3 months out of the year. So I believe that is like a good stacking tax. That's tax check money. You feel me? That's tax check money. So it's definitely a good, side gig. A lot of the ARCs, when I ask them, like, hey, because I be wanting to know, like, what do you do? Why do you just want to work the 3? You know what I'm saying? The 3 months out of the year. And a lot of times it's just like maybe they needed to square away Christmas, or maybe they had like something go out in their house if they have a home and they need to like repair like a furnace, or it's normally something like that. That's why they get the position. It's like, I need this emergency fund money, or I need to buy a new car, or I need to repair something, or I need to pay for college. It's normally one of those things that they decide to apply for an ARC position, which I honestly, that's smart to me as an ARC. But that's pretty much this video, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I do have work tomorrow. Today is my only day off, and hopefully I will be regular soon. Your girl is getting ready to go regular. Without further ado, I hope this video finds you and it is helpful for you. If it is, give me a like and subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions. Peace.